granniopteryx, granniopteryx. She knows the truth, she's linking every link.
It says here, Mandelson appeared to leak UK government plans to Epstein. Appeared to is probably to do with covering their rear ends legally. But it says here, Peter Mandelson appears to have given Jeffrey Epstein access to highly sensitive British government policy discussions at the height of the global financial crisis. Emails disclosed in the Epstein files show. He appears to have forwarded on a June 2009 internal email about the government's response to the banking crunch. Now, of course, Epstein was supposed to be a financial wheeler-dealer of some sort, so all of this early warning would have been of tremendous financial advantage to him. Mandelson was business secretary in Gordon Brown's government at the time, which was included in the latest US Department of Justice releases on Epstein. Epstein was already a convicted sex offender by the point of the emails. The note sent on to Epstein is addressed to Gordon. I don't know who Gordon is, but I do know that Gordon Brown, and I don't know whether that's the same Gordon, you understand. Gordon Brown had an email alias, Sir John Pond, and when government decisions that they didn't want the public to know about were being discussed, they were addressed to Gordon Brown as John Pond. So all sorts of hanky-panky was going on in that Labour government, and I suppose for that reason Mandelson's lack of consideration for ordinary rules is probably just part of the mix. There is something else, of course, and that is that it appears even at that time, when there was still a little bit of principle and intelligence left in the Labour Party, the contempt that they held for the public was deep and abiding. And all they could think of was ways of hiding things from the public, and they didn't mind their own personal peccadillos. It didn't matter because they were in the right. They had the moral high ground. So whatever they did, it was for the ultimate good. I'm quite sure that was what was going through their mind. They had no fixed moral compass because all was in the service of the great project of the EU project, the globalist project, if you like. I hate to use that word, but it was certainly a supranatural project. And in the service of that, they didn't mind with whom they associated. They didn't mind anything about morals or honesty or anything, because ultimately it was all for some sort of greater good. This started, of course, with Tony Blair, but it was grabbed by all the rest of them. And it's found its apex in the ignorant nonsense that the Labour Party has degenerated into. Brown, the former Prime Minister, said in a statement on Monday that he had asked Britain's top civil servant to investigate the disclosure of confidential and market-sensitive information from the then business department during the global financial crisis. You think Gordon Brown didn't know that Mandelson was not really an honest person? Do you think he didn't know that Mandelson still had strong links with Epstein, just without knowing that there was inside dealing sort of information going on, without even knowing that? the Brown government must have known that Epstein was dirty and that any contact between government ministers and Epstein were going to be dirty by definition, even if they were just discussing the weather. Yeah, he said Mandelson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. He's previously said he was wrong to have continued his association with Epstein and apologised unequivocally to Epstein's victims. Oh, so that makes it all right then. You see, the problem with the left is when they do wrong things, they apologise. Gordon Brown's apologised. Everybody's apologising. Starmer has apologised. And they think, well, that's all right. What about the people? Let's say, let's just take a slight example of Lucy Connolly, who apologised. Did Starmer accept that apology in the same spirit that apparently he and his colleagues think that we are going to accept their apologies? Do you think that? Lucy Connolly was 3 years in jail. Well, 2 years in jail and some months on licence or whatever it's called, where they can bring her back to jail any time they want if they feel she's misbehaving. That's what happened to Lucy Connolly. They didn't even give her time off for Christmas, which nearly all the other inmates of that jail did get. No, because you see, her apology wasn't enough. But Starmer, oh, I'm so sorry. Mandelson wasn't such a good guy. I'd misjudged him. I'm terribly sorry. Right, that's all right then. Or Mandelson, yeah, I gave away state secrets. I apologise unreservedly. Mandelson, meanwhile, appears to have given Epstein updates on 2010 attempts to form a coalition government after Brown was battered at a general election. And a separate document also appears to show Mandelson discussing the €500 billion bailout to save the euro in 2010. All of this stuff would have enriched Epstein, and he could have actually skewed the markets by this forward information. A separate email, it says here, sent to Epstein in August 2009, highlights notes from Haywood and Vadera about business investment and the Bank of England's priorities. The identity of the person who forwarded this exchange to Epstein is redacted. Well, yeah, that's it. Now, I have seen odd bits on the internet about Starmer resigning. I also saw a clip from him speaking in the House of Commons recently, and maybe yesterday, and his left hand was shaking very badly. And I noticed he was using his right hand to hold his left hand down. And I'm just wondering if there is some neurological problem there. It could be just stress, of course. I mean, stress causes a lot of neurological problems. All right, well, that's it. The Labour Party, especially Keir Starmer, have apologised for all the damage that Mandelson did. So, yeah, that's all right then, isn't it? Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.